And it looks like we are being live streamed, so that is awesome. And just waiting for the final confirmation. Looks like we are there.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so very much for joining us here on Mastering the Science of Getting Rich. It is day 15, and wow, I can't believe we are now wrapping up this book. I mean, we've got 3 more chapters to go, and I hope everybody took advantage of this time that Robert was away to go over all of the 14 chapters that we've gone through in Mastering the Science of Getting Rich to get ready for today. Because today, now that we've gone up through the combination, we've found the final combination piece, chapter 14, even though the combination is 4, 14, and 7, but we've already discussed chapter 14. We are now on chapter 15, the advancing man. And I'm going to say, and woman too. Yes, exactly, Robert. So without further ado, let's get started. But first, I do want to say, please, if you're watching us on YouTube, like us, subscribe to our channel so you get all of these great videos that we are putting out, and make sure to share this video with everybody you know, because the training that you're getting here, mind-blowing. And the gentleman who blows our mind every time, our mastermind in mastering the science of getting rich, our friend, our mentor, and just an incredible person himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Robert Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. And I'm glad that you got my text to wear the same shirt I'm wearing. That's that. There you go. Which, by the way, we didn't do that. I think probably people right now. I got to button this button. It's like, you know, everybody's like, hey, did they talk about that? No, Craig and I are on that mind melt thing. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say I felt left out.
The drones that you're looking for are no longer here. It's like, okay. So hello, everyone. Craig, thank you so much. I missed all you guys. It was a blast in Cancun and got to meet with a bunch of leaders. And it was pretty funny because all I'll say and get right into the advancing man is I was Nelda's on here. You know, some people just will not let go of the past. They really don't have the ability to unlearn, to relearn. And so when you think about that, me and Nelda really quickly before we go into this, I was just saying, yeah, it took my kids years to get me and my wife to no longer use cable boxes anymore. And some of you are like, why? What's wrong with cable boxes? No, nothing. I'm sure that you can call customer service with your flip phone and everything will be fine. You know what I mean? But everything's moving ahead very, very quickly. And you got to find a way to be the advancing person. So let's go ahead and listen to this chapter and then let's discuss it. And I'm excited to do that. So here we go.
Chapter 15, The Advancing Man. What I have said in the last chapter applies as well to the professional man and the wage earner as to the man who is engaged in mercantile business. No matter whether you are a physician, a teacher, or a clergyman, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you and you will get rich. The physician who holds the vision of himself as a great and successful healer and who works toward the complete realization of that vision with faith and purpose, as described in former chapters, will come into such close touch with the source of life that he will be phenomenally successful. patients will come to him in throngs. No one has a greater opportunity to carry into effect the teaching of this book than the practitioner of medicine. It does not matter to which of the various schools he may belong, for the principle of healing is common to all of them and may be reached by all alike. The advancing man in medicine who holds to a clear mental image of himself as successful and who obeys the laws of faith, purpose, and gratitude will cure every curable case he undertakes, no matter what remedies he may use. In the field of religion, the world cries out for the clergyman who can teach his hearers the true science of abundant life. He who masters the details of the science of getting rich, together with the allied sciences of being well, of being great, and of winning love, and who teaches these details from the pulpit, will never lack for a congregation. This is the gospel that the world needs. It will give increase of life, and men will hear it gladly and will give liberal support to the man who brings it to them. What is now needed is a demonstration of the science of life from the pulpit. We want preachers who can not only tell us how, but who, in their own persons, will show us how. We need the preacher who will himself be rich, healthy, great, and beloved, to teach us how to attain to these things. And when he comes, he will find a numerous and loyal following. The same is true of the teacher who can inspire the children with the faith and purpose of the advancing life. He will never be out of a job, and any teacher who has this faith and purpose can give it to his pupils. He cannot help giving it to them if it is part of his own life and practice. What is true of the teacher, preacher, and physician is true of the lawyer, dentist, real estate man, insurance agent, of everybody. The combined mental and personal action I have described is infallible. It cannot fail. Every man and woman who follows these instructions steadily, perseveringly, and to the letter will get rich. The law of the increase of life is as mathematically certain in its operation as the law of gravitation. Getting rich is an exact science. The wage earner will find this as true of his case as of any of the others mentioned. Do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are working where there is no visible opportunity for advancement, where wages are small and the cost of living high. Form your clear mental vision of what you want and begin to act with faith and purpose. Do all the work you can do every day and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. Put the power of success and the purpose to get rich into everything that you do. But do not do this merely with the idea of currying favor with your employer in the hope that he or those above you will see your good work and advance you. It is not likely that they will do so. The man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability and satisfied with that, is valuable to his employer, and it is not to the employer's interest to promote him. He is worth more where he is. To secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place and who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can become what he wants to, and who is determined to be what he wants to be. Do not try to more than fill your present place with a view to pleasing your employer. Do it with the idea of advancing yourself. Hold the faith and purpose of increase during work hours, after work hours, and before work hours. Hold it in such a way that every person who comes in contact with you, whether foreman, fellow workman, or social acquaintance, will feel the power of purpose radiating from you, so that everyone will get the sense of advancement and increase from you. Men will be attracted to you, and if there is no possibility for advancement in your present job, you will very soon see an opportunity to take another job. There is a power which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing man who is moving in obedience to law. God cannot help helping you if you act in a certain way. He must do so in order to help himself. There is nothing in your circumstances or in the industrial situation that can keep you down. If you cannot get rich working for the Steel Trust, you can get rich on a 10-acre farm. And if you begin to move in a certain way, you will certainly escape from the clutches of the Steel Trust and get onto the farm or wherever else you wish to be. If a few thousands of its employees would enter upon the certain way, the Steel Trust would soon be in a bad plight. It would have to give its working men more opportunity or go out of business. Nobody has to work for a trust. The trusts can keep men in so-called hopeless conditions only so long as there are men who are too ignorant to know of the science of getting rich or too intellectually slothful to practice it. Begin this way of thinking and acting, and your faith and purpose will make you quick to see any opportunity to better your condition. Such opportunities will speedily come, for the Supreme, working in all and working for you, will bring them before you. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented, and you feel impelled toward it, take it. It will be the first step toward a greater opportunity. There is no such thing possible in this universe as a lack of opportunities for the man who is living the advancing life. It is inherent in the constitution of the cosmos that all things shall be for him and work together for his good. And he must certainly get rich if he acts and thinks in the certain way. So let wage-earning men and women study this book with great care and enter with confidence upon the course of action it prescribes. It will not fail. Chapter 16.
Okay, so some of the chapters that I've talked about in this book was a little difficult for me to apprehend. This one was the easiest chapter for me. It was so simple because it was, the world just seems to work for the person that's working on being better. Isn't that crazy? It's like, so you got the same boring thing that everyone does. I mean, some of you may know of people that have been at a sermon of some religion, and the word is, I don't feel good going there anymore. I don't feel fed. So how many of you know people that used to go to church all the time and then they no longer go to church anymore? But yet, just like in real estate and every other thing they talked about, my mentor shared this with me, and he said, Robert, don't you think it's funny that you'll talk to one group of people and they'll say that the market's not doing well in real estate? But yet every month there's a person that breaks the record. And the reason why is they went, oh my God, did you watch Orange County listings or real estate listings from New York? I mean, these people make millions of dollars a year by selling something to someone that they wanted. An average family moves every 5 years. I'm going to get my real estate license. They go out and do what they're supposed to do, and they have a record year. And the other group of people that are hanging around each other that got comfortable and conformists talk about, well, I guess the market's changed and everything sucks. It's like, and the person that is making it work is the person that didn't get the memo. It was what we call ignorance on fire. And when I got involved in this industry, I can remember like it was yesterday. And I still believe this today. Don't get mad at me. I believe that someone that can't see the simplicity of this profession of marketing is just an IQ test. It is just an IQ test. Because when you think about selling stuff, I'm not that person. Do you guys understand that? It goes against every part of my personality. I'm not interested in getting people that are not interested in better their lives, convincing them to buy things so they can stop buying it later. That's called buyer's remorse. So when I met someone that said, listen, I make 62 grand a month, I'll show you what I did. Can I go talk to my friends? Maybe if I prayed on this. I was like, what the hell? So do I run into people every day that still don't get it? Yeah, they're professional missers of the point. And it's just not their timing. You see what I mean? So when I read in this, as long as and I know some of you have heard this, but marketing is like a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. And me and Nelda were talking about you'll find people that want to go backwards, but in reality, they just want to make excuses for not being an advancing person. Right? And everyone that watches this live or recorded, you got to put yourself in that place of the advancing person. Now, I just took a couple of notes here, but how many people know I haven't promoted, many books and stuff on this for a reason. But Wallace Wattles in 1910, he also wrote a book called The Science of Being Great. The Science of Being Great. And here's a simple statement that every one of you can understand. It's like the way to greatness, and I'll even say the way to richness, is the person that services more people than anybody. It's really just that simple. Now, how many of you guys know Kevin Hart? Heard of him? Do you guys know that he's a billionaire now? And so I only bring that up is because I was showing Nelda this. This is his tour that just got launched. How long do you think he's on stage? Could we say a couple hours? And so 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 9th, 10th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. It's like, how many people think that he's going to polish up, get in front of the room, polish up his entire act? And I'm just guessing. I could be way off here. That maybe a Netflix special will follow this. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe it's going to be on HBO or something, but all I see this guy doing is this guy either loves money or he loves entertaining, or as an advancing person, he loves it all. It's not either or. So people sometimes say, Robert, how many people do you talk to a day? I do anywhere from 3 to 12 or 15 Zooms a day. Why wouldn't I want to tell this exciting opportunity to everyone all day long? So because I love doing that, I seem to attract a lot of people that want to hear about it. Isn't that interesting? Do you guys find that weird? I jumped on YouTube this morning and we went from 500 views a day to 230 views a day. Why would our views go down? Does anybody want to know? Oh, maybe because I took Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I took a week off. That's why the views went down. So now we're showing this one live, and I did another one this afternoon, and I already posted that on YouTube. How many of you think my views will go up today? Golly, don't get mad at me, but why are people so stupid? Human beings just like to complex everything. So how do you attract people? You lead by example. If you're talking religiously, it says you will know my people by their fruit. Do you know how many people reach out to me every day and ask me if they can do a website for me, if they can do marketing for me, if they can be my personal assistant? I got people that reach out to me every day wanting to do my social media. And I click on their name. I click on their social media. They ain't going to do social media for me and Matt. We have more followers. We have more people that are viewing us. What the hell do I need their help to go backwards? So Matt knows this about me, and a lot of you know this about me. But anytime someone says, hey, Robert, have you checked out this? I go, show me how much you made. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Could we jump on a Zoom quick and you can log into your online banking and show me how much money you're making from YouTube, social media, Google, Facebook? I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. Okay. See you later. Have a great day. And no one does it in this business. It's like today I was sending videos to people that were asking me to help them at the mastermind. And they're like, I said, yeah, I had 72 people that got a rank advance in my group last month. Ask some of the people you guys are following to see if you can see their ranks. Not getting involved in rank makers, getting ranks from using rank makers. Getting a rank and maintaining a rank is different training. Getting a lot of people to do a little bit is different training. The psychology is different. The vision's different. So see, can you guys go, okay, I log into my MDC back office or whatever company it is. And you log in, you see active, and it says 1,200. 1,200 active members bought something last month. And you go, okay, 1,200, where's my calculator? Okay, 1,200, let's say can we make it small? Let's take 1,200 and we'll take it times 40 in volume. That's 48,000. You'd only be making $4,800 a month. And what are these people doing? What they already do. They just do what they already do. Me and Neldo were talking about, oh, I brought in this one lady and she was saying, where's all the training in Spanish? Wait a minute. Create a free affiliate. If I have money, try the products for 60 days. If I believe that it's a way to supplement my income, I can share my link with others. I don't know how many Spanish words that is, but it's just mucho dinero. It's only 2. Okay, a lot of money. It's like, so if if it's too big, so the common denominator at the mastermind was pretty funny. Lead with opportunity. Lead with opportunity. Lead with opportunity. There's 4 people that walked this stage that had over 36 years of experience. Dennis Windsor, Dan Stamen. These guys, they've been in the industry longer than me. Mark Aceta, Josh Swagel, me, and everyone's going, how many of you are upset that we're adding another 7 brands in 2 weeks? It's like, which one are you going to pick? We can show you how to lead with the opportunities so they could use them all. But anyway, you just keep focused on that one product. There's people in the company, you guys, where their check went down over 420 sale. Why? Because their people don't use those products. So the advancing man, advancing person, is not focused on things that are out of their control. Think about that. Are you in control of what MDC is doing? No. Any company is going to quit products, bring on new products. Everybody's going, I want this product. And they go, well, you're the only one. And now that we're canceling it. Not that flavor. No. It's like, oh my God. So if you find yourself constantly being taken out of the mentality of being advancing and helping other people advancing, you're being distracted by things that are out of your control. Yeah, that's all I got. So how many of you are honestly attracted to people that are getting stuff done? All right. So if you're attracted to people that seem like they're always lucky, they're always happy, they're always Kevin Hart. If you find yourself always being attracted to people that are making things happen, then what if you made things happen? People would be attracted to you. But most people just want to contemplate, to consider, to evaluate. Go home, talk to their parakeet or dog. Come up with a list of ways this won't work instead of finding the one that will make it work. You choose to advance, you choose to get gooder, or you choose not to. It's just that simple. So Craig, back to you.
Wow. And that's the certain way.
Mm-hmm.
That is the certain way. And that's what I love about this chapter, because and you've already kind of expressed it, but I'm going to use kind of the words that are in the chapter. You give increase of life to others, and others will be attracted to you. That's what you just said. I mean, and this goes back to 1910, this book.
Nuts.
Yeah. I mean, okay. And even, I'm going to kind of take that a little step further. If you think about it, this is, in a sense, like what Ogmandino said in the God Memorandum. Go the extra mile. Go the extra mile with that other person. Give them advance. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place and who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can become what he wants to be, and is determined to be what he wants to be. He's got a clear vision of what he wants, she wants, person wants, and moves in that direction. And the only way to do that is helping other people, helping them advance. OMG. That's what this chapter, and actually as we're wrapping up this book, is also putting out there.
Do you guys believe that sharing this concept of the science of getting rich is helping people advance? So that's why you can say, hey, just check out, my mentor, the person that's leading me, told me to check out 4, 14, and 7, and those order. Some will, some won't. Some will, and they'll read all the book. Some won't. Some will read all the book or listen to it, and then they'll get plugged into the mastery of the science of getting rich. And the people that apply this, it's like one of the things that is said in there, Craig, is that my mentor said this to me. He goes, Robert, you become the best auto mechanic on the planet. You turn into a crew chief. Then what? He says, if you learn how to help other people and you get good and better and better at helping other people advance, Robert, you can dial in any amount of money that you want to make for the rest of your life. Learn to find people at the right time in the right place in their lives, inspire them, and help them understand the principles that are covered here. It's like, that's valuable. Matt, you got anything to say?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, what's so funny about this happening, this chapter coming up, is I was on Facebook today and I got reminded of when I did the ice bucket challenge. Does anyone remember that?
Wow, yeah.
So what was that? That was a movement of positivity, and you had every celebrity, pretty much, presidents of nations, all types of stuff doing this challenge and donating money to a good cause for ALS.
Yes.
That was a massive movement, and it's one of many that you could point out through history and through time, whether it's even a marketing move, because obviously that was a donation move, but there's been marketing moves that have been similar, like Apple, think different, like hey, if you buy an Apple product, you're thinking differently, you're creative, you're part of that group, you're inspirational, all those types of things. So they built a positive movement that people wanted to be part of. And they didn't do that. What's so interesting about this chapter is it really, really, as Craig was saying, wraps up a lot of towards the end of the book the certain way. And it's like all around just being somewhat stoic, taking the punches as they come to you, being positive, having a positive mindset, having a destination with that mindset, all of these things. It's like, here, sit down and write all these things down. What are you doing when you're writing these things down? You're figuring yourself out. And what is your goal in life? To figure yourself out, right? So you have to put yourself in places to figure yourself out. And I believe everyone that's been on here through this process has been doing that just by being here. And you can always take it a couple of steps further. I'm a firm believer in rereading things that have an impact on you, especially when you're in a place in your life of indecision, right? So if you're in indecision, it's like, go back to the stuff that helped you decide in the first place, which is what you want, who you are, right? Because like we have this thing where we get so wrapped up in the world and other people's problems and other people's stuff that we lose sight of who we are, and we kind of like give ourselves up, right? Like we'll just slowly but surely become like other people that are not ourselves, or we won't speak. A perfect example of this is I cuss a lot, right? I cuss a lot through my day-to-day life. I don't notice that it's offensive to some people, because the people that I am around, normally they do it too. So it's like just normal, right? But in an environment where you're not supposed to do that, or people are offended by that, you do change the way that you talk, right? And so we do this, not to say that that's a bad thing, because obviously, if you're going to church or something, you shouldn't be throwing like F-bombs around, probably, right? There's some churches out there, I'm sure, that are fine with that. But at the end of the day, like this whole process is just a process of you figuring yourself out. So like just consistently keep that in mind through this book, is that, and through this process, like just keep going back and going, what do I want to be? What do I want to do with my life? What do I want to experience? But more importantly, what do I want to learn from all of those things about myself? What am I going to take from these things? because every single experience you've had, whether good or bad, has taught you something about who you are. And we all react differently. And I'm a believer in mirror and matching people when it's impossible to rip someone off. It is. You could take all of their creativity and try to replicate what they've done. And it will be your shittier version of what they were able to do. Why? It's like some people love covers of songs, and that's fine. And I do too for certain covers. But man, I love the original more. Why? Because they're the person that originally put down that art did it from self. They weren't imitating. They were finding something else out about themselves. So I don't have much more to add than that. I just think this process, I mean, the last, 5 days or so that my dad's been gone and we haven't been doing these, I've felt like the absence of that in my life, right? And it's interesting because me and my dad talk all the time. Same with Craig. But man, having everybody here in this group setting and all growing together, I've grown through this process. I've watched my dad grow through this process, Craig. Everybody that is consistently on these and has been through this whole process with us, thank you, because you've been part of our growth as well as your own. So that's all I have to add. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate and love all you guys. Back to you, Dad.
You know me, I normally have something to say behind everybody, but Matt, that was like nailed it. So
I've been holding it in the last couple of days.
Well, I love and miss you, and this is the first time I've seen my son's face since I left. So
yeah, you guys got in late last night, late. So
yeah, 1:30 or something.
I know.
Craig's always trying to get me to take some time off. He's like, hey, we don't have to do it today, and I'm like, yeah, I do. You know what I mean?
I thought the same thing. I didn't even send
I got a tour date.
Yet.
I got my tour date set up, man.
I know. Well, that's funny because I thought the same thing. I was like, maybe I should message him this morning. I know they got in at 1 a.m. So maybe I should message him this morning and we move it to tomorrow so we can have a day of rest. And I didn't even send the message because I knew what your response would be.
Yep.
So
here I am. I love serving people.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for
you bet
for inspiring all of us. So
love you. So Craig, let's get some questions answered.
All right, that sounds great. And just a reminder we've got a few people. We got people with hands raised. Katie, Bill, and Arthur. Thank you guys. If you want to raise your hand here in the Zoom, very simple. Put your cursor in the middle of the screen. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see buttons. One is reactions. Click on that and then click on raise hand. We will acknowledge you if you have something to share with regards to chapter 15 here, The Advancing Man in the Science of Getting Rich. And of course, we are mastering it together, not only here on Zoom, but for those of you watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. We got lots more things planned here, and we would love to have you be a part of it. Thank you so very much. All right. Before we get to the live speakers, I wanted to share something from Anthony Lombardo. He wrote briefly in YouTube, and he said, what I find from this chapter is that we must become the person we need to be in order to do the activities we need to, in order to have the things, he says, you want. I'm going to use that term, we want.
And he just hit 1K. So brand new in the company and just hit 1K. So I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him.
That's fantastic. Anthony, thank you. And keep up the great work. Keep mastering the science of getting rich. All right, Katie, your hand went up first. Let's go ahead, ask you to open up and please share with us.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Katie.
So happy to be back. I wasn't in beautiful Cancun. I was in Nashville. What a great city. Celebrated my sister turning 40. I got to hug my little mom. It was wonderful. So Robert, just real quick off of what Matthew was just sharing. Matthew, you are a genius. Like, I just want to stay in your circle of friends forever because you just are so inspiring. So inspiring. But I lost my dad to ALS. And it just came on my heart a couple of weeks ago. I shared with your dad that, through the calls and, just the community and the love and the acceptance and the pep talks and the swift kick in the butt when you need one from Robert. But So when you're mentioning ALS out of all of the other positive movements, like Robert, I just wanted to say, like, this is total, like, kind of confirmation that,
Yeah.
yeah, life is so good. So, another thing too, when I first met you, Robert, I had asked you something about where the products were made. And you literally said, I don't know. The opportunity is made everywhere. I don't focus on products. So it's just perfect. And it's so just another layer of reassurance that we're connected to the right leader that's consistent 100% of his life to every single person that he meets. We don't get like a version when you're on stage and then a version when you talk to us offline, or like a version if we run into you in the hotel lobby. Like, you're just 100% you, and I freaking love you for that.
I love you.
We all need to be 100% us all the time.
Yeah, I think that we have a tendency, Katie. I'm human, and sometimes we have a tendency to want to be people pleasers. And if people really realize that they're a people pleaser, sometimes you might fall into that trap of because other people like their trainings, that maybe you need to like their trainings, or plug into a Zoom, or get your people plugged into a Zoom. It's like that was another conversation. People that I know are not an advancing person. I do not plug my people into them. Right. That's like, wow. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So sometimes
let's all talk about writing a list of 200 names. It's like, that's got dinosaur piss on it. It's like,
that's true. Well, and it goes back to like, how long does it take us to learn the lesson, right?
Yeah.
So we no longer send people to certain places. Some of us are still tying our shoes wrong though, Robert. Yeah. I guarantee you, some of us are still tying our shoes wrong.
Yeah. And I always think that if a person, think about this, you're so unsure of yourself that you won't ask people to prove to you that what they're teaching you, they're documented in doing.
Totally.
And it's the weirdest stuff. Is like, if someone came up to me when, I got my car setting out, and this guy walks up to me in a Walmart parking lot, and he's got a rag in his hand and a bottle of spray. You are not touching my freaking car. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is or what it does. Do it on somebody else's car. Yeah. No. I just want to do a small part. No. You're not going to do a small part. And people go, well, how do you find out if it's good? I would follow him around, because I can guarantee within minutes, he's going to find a person that's like, yeah, hell, go ahead and try that crap on my car. You know what I mean? Right. Then I get to see how it works.
Actions right in front of our face. I know.
Yeah. So, if you can guard if all you focused on is just doing the things that duplicated, the things that were simple, the things that immediately got someone value.
Okay. So
they'll duplicate so fast if they know that your number one goal. Well, listen, Katie, my number one goal is really simple, is to help you advance. My very first goal is give me a magic number. Let's figure out how to hit it, because I need you to get a belief payday. See, I'm not interested in you going through anything to tell me how great I am.
Freaking love you, Robert. Okay, because we could go on and on with this. I just love our language. Okay, so the one thing that stood out that I wanted to encourage people, because we have all grown together. And one way that I grew was, this just validated my listening skills and validated the fact that I have turned into a better listener. So the homeschool co-op that Zerlene's going to start at in the fall, they needed a math and science tutor. Well, that's one of the teachers in our local school district. Shocker, he left the school district. It's kind of a new trend. Everybody's leaving the school district, but thank God. But I was able to listen to her, Krista, on their needs, well enough to when I met him, I picked up on what he had just done, and I like immediately was able to make a match
Yes,
and fill a need for
absolutely.
both of them. And so for me, I'm just like, look at you, like growing up and shit. Like that's some
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I was talking to somebody. It was so funny because Daniel that lives in Colombia, the guy is like a level top tier guitarist. Like John is a pianist. It's
Nice.
just amazing, right? And so if they're going to teach you, do you know that the only thing they do, well, have a seat and put your fingers here.
Do as I do.
Immediate results. And they don't get your name, nothing. Wow, I've always wanted to play guitar. Here's a guitar. Okay, great. Hold it like this. Put your fingers here, right? Put your fingers here. And now strum down. Ring. You just played a chord. Wow, I could tell. I could hear it. If people could find a way to get people to feel immediately that your number one goal was to get them a result as fast as you possibly can.
Robert, you do amazing with that, because anything that any of us share, you just bring it back to another way that we can just level up with our business skills.
Yeah.
Like
it's connection
it
skill.
doesn't have to be so life skill, business skill. Like everything is just one evolving magical ball.
Thank you, Katie.
I need one more question asked.
Oh, sure.
So I feel like me tracking my DMO and posting it to my Facebook group with my affiliates, and like, I like being held accountable with my daily numbers.
Why?
Is that counterproductive here?
Yeah.
With, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop.
There's only one personality trait that fits in. I'd rather you here. Some of you are going to do what I say right now, and your business is going to explode. But you're going to either do a Zoom that you invite people to, or you're going to do a live and share your screen. But all you're going to do is say, hey, today I just thought I'd go on, show you how I'm going to find somebody on Facebook to connect with, how to build rapport, and then how to turn that into me asking them a favor and then getting them on Zoom. So that's what I thought I'd show you guys today.
Perfect. I kind of thought so, but I can pop on Zoom. I'll go live.
Yeah. Because when you guys start realizing how fun it is and how incredible it feels to be connecting with strangers all day, every day, you all of a sudden won't have time for the distracting stuff that's taking you away from your income. I had someone reach out to me today. Hey, can you do a Zoom today? Nope. Just got back from vacay. And I got a Zoom at this time, Zoom at this time, Zoom at this time, Zoom at this time. It's like my day's full. So Craig comes on to prepare for this one, and me and Nell does on a Zoom. You know what I mean? I see Sean Clark. Sean Clark, raise your hand. I just talked to this guy in Facebook chat maybe an hour and a half ago. Sean, thank you very much for jumping on here. Yeah, this is simple. And what do I know about Sean? I know Sean loves cars. I know he loves working on cars. Sean's now doing computers. He loves electronics. He wants to become an affiliate and make a lot of money, and I'm going to show him how to do it. Right, Sean? Yeah. Next person, Craig.
Wow, that's amazing. Sean, welcome, and thank you so much. And okay, yes, I'm going to apologize to both Robert and Nilda for the interruption. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is what makes Robert who he is, because he gives.
Don't have to apologize. Nelda was trying to get me off the Zoom. She had heard enough, and she was ready to go make money. She was like, I don't know how to shut Robert up. And then Craig showed up.
Okay. All right. Sean, thank you. Nilda, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. All right. We got Bill, Arthur, and Kai with their hands up. Bill Shoemaker, go ahead. Please unmute yourself and please share.
Thank you, Craig. You are amazing. And yes, I didn't get the memo on the shirt today.
Before you continue,
Hey,
Bill,
hey.
I got to say this. I've been wanting to say this ever since Robert brought it up. Robert, we're going to go out tonight. So we will have Sam Enchanted Evening.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to say that, Bill, you did get the message. You just wasn't listening like Craig was.
Awesome.
No, Bill, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Beautiful share, Matthew and Katie. Those were a great questions, by the way. That was incredible. And today I didn't raise my hand first because I was competing not to compete.
Very good. That's high consciousness right there.
And John wouldn't raise his hand. He just wouldn't do it. So I was just like, okay. Craig says,
but
"Are you
who was
going to talk?"
who was the first person? Katie, did you feel valued that you got to ask the question first?
Yeah.
So whoever got to speak first sort of went, wow, I'm first. That's
Ooh.
because Bill was being creative instead of competitive.
Right. I slipped into the creative zone.
So that gave value to somebody else. They got the feeling of being
Right. It felt pretty good too. I didn't need to get out there right away. So
Thank you, Bill.
what I've been getting is that really popped out on this chapter was the 3 laws to obey: faith, purpose, and gratitude. You know what motivates me the most, Robert, is it's not setting goals. Where can I get? How can I do this? What can I do to advance? It's purpose. And each and every day, my purpose grows with my family.
Yes.
My son, he works for a company, and they were going to give him this big promotion, and they grabbed somebody outside the company. He didn't get it. It's like, I need to retire my son.
Yes, you do.
What I need to do. That's purpose.
Hey, I'm not bragging here. Matthew, can you come back online?
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever had a job?
Nope.
Do you think that people would be blown away how much you and Hannah make a month?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think I definitely had the ability to get to the knowledge and get it early on. So
It's like he's valuable.
yeah, no, I mean, that's one of those things.
This guy came to me and said, listen, how much do you pay this guy? I said, well, with all the stuff that he does, I pay him about $9,000 a month. And he goes, if I could do the stuff that guy's doing, can the money leave him and come to me? And I said, it sure in the hell can. So Matt created value. He didn't come to me and say, Dad, can you just pay for my expenses the rest of my life? He didn't say that. So he did that with one company. So when we went to another company, I decided to keep him on. No, I decided to make him the CEO of the company. Hollis organization, the main character is Matt. Him and his mom own the company. I don't know why they won't pay me, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So they get a lot of benefits from being valuable.
It goes back to what the chapter is about, which is, like
Totally.
making yourself serviceable and knowing what you can and can't do and being comfortable with that. Like very early on, my dad was into doing web design and stuff. So I wasn't even getting paid for it or anything at that point. I was just like, this is interesting. I would love to do this. And then I saw him hire people that I could do a better job. And then I'm like, you might as well just be paying me, So
Matt came to me. He couldn't have been more than 12, 13 years old. And Matt came to me and he said, why are you sending people to this company for logos? And I go, because I'm not going to do their logo. He goes, send them to me. I'll do their logo. And their cover photo and all this stuff. People are going back to MySpace. Matt was creating MySpace
man, yeah.
pages for people. So, you know, you just gotta be valuable to people, and it's smart to be valuable to people that have a large audience. So then they're constantly throwing out your name. And so, Matt, this is funny for you guys. I'm not bragging here. Matt, how many times do you think that you sent me a message that was the following? Good morning, Dad, or great morning, Dad. I love you. I appreciate you. What can I do for you today?
There's no way. It's like my daily thing to say, basically, is like, how can I service you? What can I do? And he does the same for me too. It's like, you know, if he needs help with something, he does the same for me. When I was starting out and I hit 18, I'm like, listen, Dad, I don't know what this tax stuff is about, but now I need to know this, right? And I need to do it. And so he's the guy that helped me figure all that out. And then eventually it's just like, maybe both of us don't need to deal with it. We just need to hire somebody to do all of it. And so now it's just paper shows up, you know, we sign it, saying everything's right, it goes off, we pay it, it's done. So.
And always have your cash flow, you know, we're getting off track a little bit, but how many of you would not mind having your cash flow to such a place where you don't think about taxes? And then every once in a while you go on your online banking and you go, $9,000. $9,000 a week I'm paying in advance taxes. How many of you guys would love to see that? See, you got the people out there with the scarcity mentality, right? And they're saying, oh my God, I just won 420 million in the lottery. And my cash payout is 80 million. And I got to pay taxes of 40. The government's taking $40 million. Why didn't you start out more at the beginning? Hey, I won the lottery and net profit to me is $40 million. No, they got to take it up here. And then state gets this, government gets this, lawyers get this. I get less because I want a lump sum. That's the way the majority of the people in the world work. So what would mine be of advancing man? I have all the free time that I want. I spend a majority of my time helping other people get the same. I don't have to worry about money. And I love giving money to charities and helping people put a smile on their face. Get to the end. Then going through the journey is easy. Do you guys think that Matt, I know we haven't talked about this, but like, if you spend any really time on the internet searching for a job, I just want to know.
Through the years, there's been times because there's certain things that that I'm into that are not useful in what me and my dad do. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that I'm into, but anytime I've looked, it's always been like, you know, out of interest more than like I would like to do it. I'm just curious. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing to like Google what your worth is and the skills that you have. Now, on the other hand, all the skills that I've completed and learned will be obsolete in 5 years because of AI. So like that's why I think it's a good idea to constantly grow, right? Like the chapters talking about, the books talking about. You could be scarcity and go, oh my God, this AI, it's going to replace my entire job. It's going to make everything so easy. No company would want to hire a graphic designer, a web designer, when you can just tell an AI to do it and it will do it. So what am I going to do from here? Like you could have a bad mentality about it and kind of give up or say, screw the world, or even do something worse. Try to limit technology from growing or try to stay away from it. You know, like I always lean into progress and new things. And I think that's what has kept me and my dad relevant in my growing up and working together with him, is that both of us are both in the mindset of, oh, great, AI is growing. How do we utilize this in the future? How can we utilize this to help other people? How can we utilize this to help ourselves?
Yeah.
So yeah, like like I think at the end of the day, it's just constantly making yourself more valuable. And that might be it doesn't have to be financially,
No.
right?
And I'll tell you guys now that Matt brought that up. Sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but
Go ahead.
do you guys realize that there's one skill, and this skill is going to be the last thing that AI takes over? Your ability of how fast
No.
you can make people feel. I would suggest make them feel good. So the skill you want to be good at is the availability of being able to connect with a stranger or help a new stranger, a new friend connect with their strangers. And how fast can you create a connection to get them to know that you're listening to them and you make them feel important. You make them feel that you're interested, that you're listening. That's the skill that we're in. This is a people business. The person that can help more people the fastest and the quickest is going to be the winner of this game. So, yeah, Katie said, be accountable. To me, honestly, if you're not excited about helping people as fast as you possibly can, then you need to work on the reason that you don't want to help people. That's what you got to figure out. Is why don't you like to help people? And I can guarantee you, since we just covered that with the advancing person, is the reason that you don't want to help people is you're putting you in the equation. You're looking at yourself as a messenger, the person presenting, instead of being a person that's simply sharing a small message that you can get to another person. The person that tries to learn all those skills are the person that's struggling, not duplicating, not making any money. You need to be the excited person that's plugged in, plugging other people into the thing that you plugged into. That's what you got to do. Craig, thank you, Matt.
Thank
Well,
you,
yeah,
Matt.
and what Bill was saying too, like if you have the opportunity and the skills, Bill, to teach your son and help him in understanding that knowledge, it doesn't have to be, like I said, financial. A lot of people, because of the way the world works nowadays, there's a lot of people that use their financial impact on the world as their self-worth, right? And that can suck really bad, because there's some people out there that just want to take your money and they won't give you anything back for that, right? So how are you going to build more self-worth with that? But I think it's good to just remember that every single thing that you're doing here is growth, and the ability, like Katie was saying earlier, to communicate and listen is the number one skill that will be useful, I believe, in the future. Because even when there was that transition where everybody was transitioning into like automated phone stuff, right? Because I remember growing up and people were like, hey, I just want to talk to a person. I just want to talk to a human being. And then it got to the point, right, where you're like, please, nobody talk to me. If someone calls me on the phone, how'd that happen? It's like, well, because there's less people being able to communicate well. The person that you got on the phone with used to care. Now they don't. So now you don't want to talk to them, right? You don't want to have like customer support go back and forth. So if you can develop a skill like Katie was talking about, you can connect people. And what are they going to say? Man, that person, so great, helped me out, understood me, listened to me. And the thing is if you just keep doing that, the growth that you'll get in your life financially in other areas, just like my dad was saying, will happen.
Yeah.
But you're stopping yourself from getting there because you're thinking so much about how you'll be perceived, how how, like, listen, if you just listen, people are going to be like thinking about themselves anyway. They won't really think about you because that's what we all do anyway. So it's like, just listen to them and they'll go, wow, I had the best meeting ever with Robert. It's like, Robert said 5 words and you guys talked for an hour. You hear people say that, but I've learned that in my own life because you look back in this, I used to be the opposite. I used to just talk a lot. Like, I feel like I'm talking a lot right now, but I just, but just listen. So that's all I had to add. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Craig, Dad.
You bet.
Bill, thank you so much. Matthew, thank you for sharing that. That's great. Love it. And of course, Robert, too. Thank you so much. And just a reminder to our YouTube viewing audience, please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Lots more from this channel coming up. We appreciate you and we're glad to have you aboard with us. Those of you here on YouTube, of course, we're glad to have you here because you are here right now. Thank you so very much. Arthur Waino, your hand is up. I see you. Yep, you're getting ready. Let's do it. Please share.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, Ken.
Perfect. That was for Matthew. Reminds me of some comedy bit where the guy's like sitting there with a woman, he's not saying anything, and she's telling like her whole life story to him. And she said, "Oh wow, this was such a great evening, great date. You know, oh, we had such great conversation," telling her friends, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, didn't try to fix anything.
No, he was so nervous because she was so pretty. He just sat there and listened.
It's like I've never connected with somebody so well. It's like he knows me already. Like, yeah, because he listened to everything. So
the one thing that I wanted to just bring up, well, you reminded me of it, was yesterday I posted a reel of Kevin Hart, which ironically you brought him up today. And I think the reel that I posted, for some reason, it's connected to this chapter. But I just wrote down real quick while when you were going over Kevin Hart's thing, what he said on it. And I didn't plan this out yesterday either. I didn't know what chapter was coming up. But he said, you get one life. And this was like during an interview. He said, you get one life. Out of that one life, you only get out of it what you put into it. Never being okay with where you're at in your life, because at every level there's another level, and he said that he's always wanted to see what the next level was, what's over there. He wants to see what's coming up, and I guess that's why he's worth over $1 billion now.
Yeah, it was when I seen Kevin Hart, there was if you guys want to check this out, I posted it when it came out, but Kevin Hart was on Shark Tank. So when he was on Shark Tank, they do a little bio, a little bio of what this guy has done, and, he's put himself in a position where this three people, they were all 3 African-Americans, and they came out with a concept to write superhero comics with Black characters. All right. And they said from that, they believed that there would be, Black, action movies, and stuff. And this was before the Black Panther. And when he told them that I got everything in house, and the guy goes, "What do you mean you got in house?" "I got a media department, an art department, a marketing department, a distribution department." He put everything together. And someone said, "Where did you come up with this concept?" And he said, "Tyler Perry." I just find it really interesting that, like Matt and I have talked about, we want so many divisions and employing so many people that when you run into a great idea, you don't even have to go out of your realm of people that are connected to you to make it happen. It's like you see their vision and you just go, "I got you, man." I see where you're going. I know the vision that you have, and let's work together and make this happen. That is just that is the best, Arthur. So thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate that.
No problem. That's all I had.
Okay, thanks, Arthur. I appreciate it.
And thank you, Arthur. I actually found that video that Arthur mentioned, and I shared it in the chats, both YouTube here and in Zoom too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I can't wait to see it myself. That's going to be great.
All right. I see John Tier just raised his hand, but before we get to John, we have Kai Au. Kai, go ahead, open up, and please share with us.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yep, can hear you, Kai. How are you?
Oh, highly blessed, favored, and deeply loved. Thank you very much. Welcome back.
Yes, you are.
One thing I really loved about this chapter, especially while we were all in a hiatus this last week, was for some strange reason, I just kept on having, I don't know why, but I just kept listening, not just for 14 to 7, but after that, skipped right to the 15th. And somehow, for some strange reason, it just suddenly dawned on me this morning that the whole 6-phase guided meditation also revolves around this chapter 15.
Yes.
It made me realize this morning, I'm like, oh my God, all these years, what the bloody hell have I been doing? Pleasing people just for the sake of getting them to accept me. It's just like, I have wasted so much time.
Right. The concept, Kai, that I have is I did that as well. And it's like, we're so busy trying to pull people to where we are that it stops us from going where we need to go. And so my mentor always shared with me, he says, Robert, if you love people, one, focus and get to the top of the mountain. Get up there, take some pictures, do a couple of short videos to prove to everyone. Like Jonathan Livingston Seagull, go prove that it can be done. Stop listening to people. Because once you get a picture up there and then you can come down and show them, you can find the ones that are ready and you can get them to the top of the mountain very quickly.
Exactly.
And Jim Rowan, and to show you how much this is a thing, Kai, that we fall into this, is Jim Rowan gave me one of the best visuals I have ever thought of. He goes, Robert, you seem to be a strong guy. And I said, yeah, I'm strong. He says, do you think you can carry 3 guys on your back? I go, no, maybe 2, depending how big they are. Robert, you're missing the point. The point is, you're not supposed to have guys on your back. And if they're not people, guys, sometimes they're trauma and stuff that we got this backpack and there's these great big old giant rocks in there, man. And it's like, Kai, throw those people off, throw the backpack off, and watch how fast you can climb to the top of the mountain. Yeah, but I got all this, I got all this baggage, and I got these people that are stupid that need this worse than I do. And it's like, I didn't tell you not to not pick up the backpack, just put it down for just a little bit. I didn't tell you to just leave your family and friends and the people that you love. But the other phrase that popped in my head right now is, a drowning person's no help to a drowning person.
Absolutely.
And
just like,
and not to get off track for technology. But listen to this, you guys. When I seen this, there's not too many things that I see and go, why didn't someone think of this sooner? Have you guys ever seen remote controlled toys? They got remote controlled boats, right? This guy put what propels boats in a U-shaped life preserver. He grabs his preserver, throws it in the water, and remotely just flies it over to the guy. That's interesting. The guy grabs it, gets in the middle of it, and he brings him back. It's like, so we've seen those people that are holding those things, right? That they go underwater and propel themselves underwater and stuff. And it's like, this guy's like, why isn't this mounted on a life preserver where you can do remote control? This guy's going to make billions of dollars. It's like, because there's human error in trying to help somebody sometimes. It takes time. They got to swim out there. They got to fight the person off to make sure they grab onto the preserver instead of their head. Panic people do stupid stuff. And so, Kai, thank you very much, man. I can see you getting it all the time. You just keep getting, you're advancing. We're all advancing. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Robert.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Kai. Appreciate that. And John Tier. There you go. Open up and please share with us.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, John, how are you?
Oh man, I am just wonderful and wonderfully excited, about I'm glad you're back. Glad you guys had a great time. I love the mariachi band down there.
The guy asked me what kind of music I wanted. And the first thing he said, blah, 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 blah. And then he said romantic. I said romantic.
Of course.
And next thing I'm doing is filming some guy serenade my wife. So see, you never know what's happening. It's like,
yeah, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. The thing about this chapter, the profoundness of me that really, really struck me was it didn't matter what profession you were in.
yes, great point, John.
That if you applied the principles, you could get rich. It didn't matter, and so many times, I know in my life, oh, well, you got to be in this situation to get rich, or you got to be there to get rich. And really it's not about the profession, but it's about the principles.
Yes, sir.
And applying the principles that are the things that get you wealthy. I really like that. When I read it, I really just kind of underlined the whole book in that section, because it made me think about, man, all the things that we have learned about how you have to go to school and get a good job, and to like, this is the way you're supposed to be successful. And I know that that's not always the case. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm the youngest in my family. And so I came from a very educated family. People have degrees all over the place. But it's interesting because they're so much older than I am. I watched them. And when I started learning about this profession, I started trying to tell them, like, in the end, this is not going to work out for you guys. This is not going to work out. And, I have one sister that's left. Everyone else has passed on. But two of my sisters who are very well educated say they wish they had started some kind of business.
Yeah.
They both, would say that all the time. I wish I would have had to started some kind of business. And I said, man, that was profound, because when I was a youngster, when I was talking to you about business, nobody wanted to listen.
Right.
Because they came from that era of, what, you got to get a job, you got to go to school, get a good job. And man, in today's society,
you should tell them that you brought this up to me. And my question I asked you to ask them. So who told you it was too late?
Well, you know what? They passed.
Oh.
Yeah, they passed. And I only have one sister left. And it's interesting because she was the only one that actually took on an entrepreneurial hat.
Wow.
Yeah, she took on an entrepreneurial hat. And she did work for a job for a while. Now she's retired as well. But she had a daycare center, and she had she does banking. So she always kind of had, and she didn't go to college, So imagine how that is,
John, what a great point. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah, man. Now tomorrow, unfortunately, I'm not going to be with you. I really wish I could, but I got an opportunity to help some 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders create a choir at a school.
Hey, way to go.
So I'll be starting that tomorrow afternoon, and it's in this time frame. I might be able to catch the very end of it, but I'll be at a school starting tomorrow, teaching these 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
You are going to be a blessing to those children for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, John.
All right, guys.
Yeah, the only thing I thought that I could add at the end of here is, even though this book was written in 1910, can you guys imagine that there's a group of people out there that believe that if they can give people value, maybe some of you need to write your definition of value. Corky was being Santa. How many of you see the value in that? See, some of you might not find a value in that. Here's what's so cool. It doesn't matter if you see value in what Corky does. So there's this word out there right now that probably wasn't thought of in 1910, and that's called an influencer. And there's people that make millions of dollars a year by opening up presents. There's people that make millions of dollars a year by opening up Disney toys. There's people that make millions of dollars a year by putting together videos that have motivational quotes on them. See, you might be looking at something that you want to give value to someone as you being the person that needs to be valuable. I talked to a couple in Cancun and I asked her what she did. Listen closely. Some of you that are around me will get this right away. And she says, we own the largest yoga studio in Denver, Colorado. And I said, wow, how long have you been teaching yoga? And her response was, I don't. I don't have to be a yoga teacher to make money off people that love yoga. So she builds a state-of-the-art facility. Then she lets all the yoga instructors know about it. And like people cut hair, they get slots, they use the center, they pay the center, and all their students shows up and pays them. That was something valuable. So what else does she have in the yoga studio? Locker rooms that people can rent, lockers, drinks. See, you guys, juice bar. See, you guys are getting it. It's like, that's when you say, hey, I need to find something to make something valuable for people. So when I wanted to click up influencer to leave this with you guys, a person or thing that influences others. Question to all of you. Do you think I'm an influencer? Every one of you will say yes. You know why you say yes? Somehow I did something to influence you to either watch this live or record it. All I've done is put a bunch of great people together to mastermind on something that gives value. So here's the other one, marketing. Ooh, there's marketing underneath there. A person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or a service by promoting or recommending the item on social media. Hey, would you be interested in doing XYZ? Yeah. Well, I'm connected with this person. And people go, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for connecting me with that person. You're my new friend. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn from influencers and then I'm going to try to be them. I'm going to try to learn that charismatic. I'm going to try to learn that it factor. I'm going to try to learn to be an influencer. I need to be funny. I need to be enthusiastic. I need to have energy. I need to be valuable. When the people that are most successful in the world do nothing but promote an affiliate link to something that is valuable. I think you don't know what an influencer is. Because the lady that has toddlers watching her channel, because she uses her voice to open up a Disney toy. Hey, everybody. Hi, kids. This is the new Disney toy. You know, today we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be unwrapping it. And then we're going to talk about every little character in here. So let's get started. Let's start by opening up this toy, this Disney toy. Are you guys excited? Do you guys know that you never see her face ever? And the reason that her subscribers are in the hundreds of millions is because they're at the age where they're not old enough yet to understand what's going on. But when they watch this voice unwrap Disney toys, toddlers will watch it for hours. And they only have to learn to do one thing. When this commercial comes up that you don't like, keep clicking over here where it says skip ad. It doesn't make a difference. The person still gets paid for the advertising, even though someone skipped the ad. So if you're not valuable, first we understand that's mindset, right? Because you are valuable. You're not only unique, but you're a miracle. But until you get that, until you believe that, until you feel that, why not get excited about promoting something that is valuable? That's how I got here. Wouldn't it be neat to make $200,000, $300,000 a year by doing nothing but promoting somebody else that has all that valuable stuff? Because people either like to hear you talk or they don't. You're either making people feel good or you don't. And people go, well, how do I learn that stuff? By being the advancing person. You get gooder by just doing. You just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until you get gooder. Oh, I put up a lot of videos and they still haven't gotten seen. So you still don't believe. You still don't believe. You still don't have faith. You're not doing it the certain way. Yes, I am doing it the certain way. Now I can tell by you raising your voice that you're not doing it the certain way. You're looking to get first before you give first. You don't want to plant the seeds. You don't want to harvest. You don't want to do that. You want it right now. So be the advancing person. Craig, I'll let you close it up.
Oh my gosh, Robert, thank you so much. This is, chapter 15. We got one more chapter to go, and then we're doing the summary. So in a sense, there's 2 more chapters to go. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out of your busy schedule to be part of Mastering the Science of Getting Rich with Robert Hollis. For those of you that are watching on Facebook, there I said it again, on YouTube, please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. As I said earlier, there are lots of great things that are coming up here. So please subscribe. Go to roberthollis.com/YouTube and you'll be brought here to this channel and you can subscribe to it. Just click that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified when we do videos like this, and then you can join us. Also, I want to definitely thank our participants in today's Chapter 15, The Advancing Man: Katie Sanders, Bill Shoemaker, Arthur Wainio, Kai Au, John Tier. got to give it out to Matthew Hollis for not only sharing, Matthew, thank you, but for being the foundation to all of what we do here. And of course, back to you, Robert. Thank you so much for being our Polaris, our North Star, our guide to this, because this is what makes masterminding with you, with everyone here possible, and how we share everything with the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who would like to save the chat in the Zoom, please go ahead and click the 3 dots that are in the chat area on Zoom, and then click Save Chat. At the conclusion of this, all of the chat information, which includes video links and book links and things like that, will download to your computer. So you got them right there. Those of you watching on YouTube, they're part of this video. So you got it all right there. And tomorrow, we are starting the wrap-up of The Science of Getting Rich. Tomorrow's chapter is called Some Cautions and Concluding Observations. You need to be here for this. Bottom line, mic drop, end of story. And until then, please be good to yourselves, be cash. Bye-bye. I will go ahead, unmute the room so everybody can say goodbye, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody. Love you, Robert. Love you, family.
Thank you, everyone. See you, John, Bill. Glad to have you back. Thank you. Thank you so much, Craig.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you so much.
Michael. Kai.
James is playing us out.
Again? Hey, Eric,
Thanks, James.
Daniel, Randy, Melody. Love you, John, Linda, Nelda. God bless you guys. See you, Jerome.
Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.
I seen Michael's friend come out. There's Michael's friend there.